What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning to another episode of Right on Cue podcast. As always, I'm your host, Logan Chestnut, the El Jefe of Right on Cue. And then joining me tonight, my barbecue brother, Mr. Keaton Helms of Cook Shack Barbecue. What is up, my friend?
What is up, my boy? How was your weekend?
Sucked.
Oh, man, tell us about it.
Sucked donkey dong. What did? Valentine's Day weekend. That is the biggest joke of a holiday ever.
Right?
That wasn't Valentine's Day. It wasn't? Yeah. Maybe.
Valentine's Day was Saturday.
It was, yeah. Dude,
yeah.
I boycott. Like, those little holidays like that, I mean, I think it's the conspiracy theories by Hallmark and, like, Hershey's to pump that shit up because I don't believe it.
They got $80 out of me.
80?
80.
My wife got a card.
Love
she
you,
loves
babe.
me. She loves me. I love you, babe.
Was it the one that when you opened it, it just kept going even after you shut it?
Yeah. It's no. I want to find you remember the old remember Lamb Chop? It's like, this is the song that never ends. I want to send that card that, you get the ones where you open it up and it starts playing that, because you'll never get that shit out of your head.
Never, ever.
I know. No, it was good. It was. I feel like I did a ton, and also I did nothing. It was one of those weekends. You know what I mean? It's like it's just crazy. How about you, man? How was your weekend?
Man, so here in the South, especially in the Louisiana, New Orleans, Mobile, that area, we celebrate what is called Mardi Gras.
Yeah,
Mardi Gras is currently going on right now. So Saturday was half Mardi Gras, half Valentine's Day, and it was fantastic.
That's the best,
dude.
All right. So you live low enough that, like, Mardi Gras will be one. Like, so Thanksgiving's my holiday. The rest of them can suck it. But Mardi Gras, I self-celebrate myself, and I'm so jealous. Like, the Mississippis and Louisianas and some of the Texas. I'm sure some of the Texas, even around the Louisiana border, celebrate it, man. That like, the Cajun people are my people. You know what I mean? I got some boudin in me, and it never came out.
And the
king cakes, yeah. Those have stuck around too.
Dude, easily.
And New Orleans, can we say the great city of New Orleans? The only city I've ever been to that gives you 3-for-1 beers.
3-for-1.
Yeah, I've been to bars that have 3-for-1 beers. I'm like, honey, I gotta drink them
every time, and then you got to buy another 3-for-1. It's a never-ending cycle, and then you get stuck on bourbon, and it's just it's never-ending in New Orleans.
I don't even it's like, I feel like New Orleans is like Nashville. Have you ever been to Nashville?
I've never been to Nashville.
Oh, we got to fix that. No, so Nashville, I'm sure you've heard that Nashville is a very popular destination, like Broadway.
Broadway.
Broadway. You've heard of Broadway. You've heard it's the main strip of all the bars, right down smack, all the infamous Broadway. And locals hate it. We stay far the hell away from it as possible. That's all the woo girls and the bachelorettes and the whatever. Bros. We go off a little bit on a place called Division Street, or stuff like that. Division Street, Demonbreun Street, stuff like that, or just the hell out of Nashville. But I feel like New Orleans is the same way. Like, the locals, I bet there's not a single local that goes to freaking the main strip. I bet it's all like the French Quarter and some of the outskirts. Is that how it is kind of around your area?
Yeah, dude. When I go to New Orleans now, of course, I live an hour from New Orleans. Of course, when I was, when I was 20, 22 years old, I was going to bourbon. I was having a blast.
Yeah, of course. Sure.
I guess I stopped going to bourbon. I guess when I was around 25, 26, I was like, you know what? This kind of sucks. It smells like piss, and the elbows are everywhere. Yeah, So, when I go there, I'm probably going to the French Quarter, uptown. I'm trying to be bougie, just living my best life over there. But I don't go to New Orleans a whole lot, to be honest with you, man.
I love the food, though, man. The food is top notch.
It's good. I mean, but is it worth it? Getting stuck in traffic in New Orleans? Yeah. No, God. Yeah. It's the only city where I've watched them physically move old cathedrals city blocks down the road, and I'm just like, this is an engineering marvel. The way they operate in that city. Hey, It blows my mind. If you've never been to New Orleans, guys, highly recommend you go and visit the city. It is culturally a mecca for everybody. Oh, look at that baddie. Yeah, it is what it is.
I was gonna say, I don't know, man. It's talking to you or me, because I don't know.
Definitely talking to you, Logan.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm messing with you, man.
Oh man.
But I love New Orleans. I love the people. I love the Cajun people.
Mm-hmm.
One of the greatest football stadiums in SEC. Death Valley. That's not in New Orleans, but it's not too
Baton
far.
Rouge, close enough.
Baton Rouge.
Same, but different.
Same, but different.
But
yeah, but no, it's a good time. I love Mardi Gras. I wish we celebrated it more up here. I just love Cajun food. Any chance I have to eat Cajun food, I'm all for it.
On it,
man. But I'm ready to get back to barbecue, man. And
big time.
I know. I hated that KCBS has such a long off season for most normal people that don't go, Florida, or I'm sure Southern Mississippi and stuff like that have stuff in the winter. But a place that doesn't ever stop, it's like New Orleans when it comes to drinking. It's Texas, the great state of Texas. They don't really have off season. No one's ever. Hold on. No one's ever said this ever. Not once, not ever, nor will they ever. No, mobile is better than New Orleans. No, it's not. But no, the great
That's
state
my
of
brother.
Texas, I know. The intelligence level I can take. No, I'm messing. No, the great state of Texas, man. The barbecue,
Mecca
of America. They take barbecue to a new level, and the CBA. I don't think it stops. I don't think it has I think they maybe do it on Christmas and stuff. That's why Bill and them can do it forever. About a week around Christmas. Yeah, see, Lance says CBA. So our guest tonight, man, I'm very happy to have him on here, man. He's may or may not be a big deal in the great state of Texas. Maybe kicking ass, taking names in the CBA. Keaton, he's your friend, man. I'll let you introduce him and bring him on.
Man, I tell you what, it is old Cesar from Smoking and Toasting Barbecue Crew. He is a fantastic cook, and not only is not only is he just a fantastic cook, but he loves some Fireball. So bring him on in. I tell you what,
let's go, man.
Let's get this started.
Fireball.
Hey, Cesar, before we take this shot, can you tell us a little bit about the history behind you in the Fireball?
Man,
he don't remember it.
Well, yeah. Who remembers their story with Fireball? But I just started doing it after every turn-in. I on Friday night's a shit show. Just drink and have fun. But Saturday, I only drink these. Until after everything's said and done. So. If it's 4 turn-ins, I don't include jackpots because that would really mess me up. But if it's a 4 meat cook-off, I'm taking one at chicken to kind of take the edge off, and then just go from there. 1 for ribs, 1 for pork, 1 for brisket, and then I'll start drinking some cold ones after. But I don't know how it started, to be honest. I just I think these little buckets that they started selling just were too convenient.
These are fantastic. I think I bought a 10-pack for $5 at the gas station. Totally worth it.
Yeah,
without a doubt. All right. Well, look, you
gotta be careful with those gas station ones, though, man, because they might not be the real deal.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Anybody at home, if you got it, turn up. Then what do you do, Cesar? You send it over to you, boy.
So the kicking started. I don't know, just shit talking, and I kicked it and I hit somebody with it, or a trailer with it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start doing this. So, I'll get rid of it. This is my.
There you go.
My kick on my hand. Feet on my hands, but I just started kicking them, and then I started making a little bit of content there for a while, just getting them toasted and flinging them out. And we have so many big shots here in Texas, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna put some guys on my list. I want to get Bill, I want to get Fred, I want to get all these guys. So if you go and look at some of my older content, you'll see when I was doing that. But then I was like, man, this, it's fun, and I have a ball, but I forget because you get in the zone,
Yeah.
You can't forget about the meat.
That's right.
No, dude. That's the last thing you need to forget about right there.
Yeah.
You spent too much money to go just to forget about the meat to throw
So
little
I kind
bottles
of had to
empty.
lay off of it because it was kind of getting in the way of everything else.
I understand, man. I understand. Well, look, Caesar, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you started, when, what are
Sure,
you
sure.
normally cooking?
So yeah, I'm from Los Fresnos, Texas. It's as about south as you can get from Texas. So we are. I'm about 10 minutes away from the border. Out here by SpaceX.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
South Padre Island. Um, and I've been doing this since 2018. Let me fix my camera here a little bit. Sorry. I've been doing it since 2018. We started as a party crew, and slowly folks got older, matured, and I stayed around because I fell in love with the barbecue aspect of
Mm-hmm.
it, and definitely the competitive side of it, right? If you do this for fun, it's all good, but you got to have some money.
A lot.
And so if you do it to actually get competitive, and hopefully a walk or two here can ease a little bit of the cost, not much, but a small percentage.
Gas money, fireball
Yeah,
money.
it gets a little bit more fun, right? It's funner than golf, I say, right? Some of my golf buddies, I don't golf, but some of my buddies who golf might disagree with me, but
Alonzo might disagree
yeah, yeah.
sometimes,
But this is my golf, right? This is what I'm okay at. I mean,
Exactly.
you probably have a shitty day at golf too, but you're having fun and you love it, and so that's the kind
Mm-hmm.
of mentality I bring to the barbecue, right? So yeah, it started as that. I mean, we began with a lot of folks down here, start with those 250-gallon trailer barbecue pits, and they're going out there, and we all have these barbecue pits because we're used to doing helping out with chicken plate sales and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And so I started that way, and now a few years later, we're out here, and we feel like we're competitive, right? We feel like we got a shot, everywhere we go. It doesn't always go our way, but we've been at it since then. And I think COVID, during that year of COVID, kind of helped slow things down for us, and figure out more of a game plan as far as how we wanted to execute the meets, the timelines, writing all those downs, and actually taking a class, right? And so all those kind of things kind of slowed down, and then it was lights out. I think as soon as discovered, it's silly, right? But as soon as I discovered like MSG and phosphates, it was over. Because I didn't know those things starting out, right? And a lot of folks don't, right?
Old
As soon
Chinese
as
secrets.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as I discovered that, dude, it was over. I was like, all right, dude, like I cook good flavorful food, but I didn't know that you had to kapow it, like you had to give it that little extra one too, and that really helped me expand, and then also traveling, right? So getting outside of the valley. And let me tell you something, boys. The valley is considered, just so that we're in the very south tip of Texas is considered the valley, the Rio Grande Valley. There is a lot of great cooks here,
Mm-hmm.
and so some of them don't travel outside of the valley, right? And so you get your ass kicked down here, every weekend by these guys that will never go out, right? You start thinking that, man, I'm not very good at this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start traveling out of the valley, and you say, hey man, I'm top three out here, I'm top five. Hey, it's not it's not me.
Yeah.
And that gives you that confidence boost that you kind of need to come back and then kick their ass down here and be like, hey, hold
Right.
on, guys. Yeah, it's definitely a mental game.
So with CBA, they're pulling judges off the street. So do
Yeah.
you think those guys that never leave that area, they are just that in tune with the community? They know what they like. They can is essentially pander to those palates, and that's why they're able to do so well in those areas.
I think in a way, yes, but also, this is definitely a barbecue hub, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so, and it shows because some of these guys, when they do go out, they'll come out and reserve Grand Seguin or win the world championship. You know what I mean? So like, it's one of those things where I truly believe that South Texas, is a one of those hubs of barbecue, and so the flavor travels, and so it's just one of those things where down here it's just tough. It's tough. Certainly, we have our backyard cook-offs, and we have some of those where a competition box, so one of those pretty boxes isn't going to do very well, right? But you start figuring that out, but those are more, some of those cook-offs that are more in the, rural areas, right? Compared to like, some of the bigger cities down here, right? But I don't know. I don't think that it's one of those things where they've tuned into the city that they're in. It's just that the flavor profile down here, I think it does travel pretty well.
Would you say it's my bad, Logan? Go for it, brother.
No, you're good, man. I was gonna say like so, and the state of Texas is about what half the size of Europe. I mean, you think north side, south side, east, west? I mean, do you see like the flavor profiles differ for competition wise, and also just recreational, like eating wise, what people are kind of craving? Like, tell me kind of the difference you see in the regions.
I think I see that more, to be honest, in jackpots than I do in the barbecue, right? So, but I will tell you one thing. There's one area that I've struggled in, and in competition cooking, and that's more of like the East Texas, Houston region, right? That's one where I can't find. I'll have a top, top three, top five, individual meat. Like maybe a rib will be like third place or something like that. But everything else kind of sinks on me for some reason, right? I can't figure it out, right? I will, but I can't. But for me, not without changing anything, I think it does still fairly well. Central Texas, San Antonio, Austin area. It does well. West Texas, as far well west. I don't go that far west, but like
It'll
when I
take you 2
have,
days to get out there.
yeah, when I have, it does okay there. But not sure about I don't know, East Texas and Houston and above, right? I'm just not sure why it doesn't, right? But jackpots, the reason I was saying jackpots is I do see a difference, like in uh fajita, beans, those kind of things. I do kind of see that they don't fare as good over there, right? I think, and I was telling this to somebody a few weekends ago, that down in the valley, we're not particularly, we especially in beans, right? We have a lot of flavors to pull from, right? And so we don't necessarily use a lot of cumin, right? I think the cumin sprouted from that, what you call Tex-Mex food, right? And so when you get out of the valley, I feel that you put a little more cumin in your beans, you're gonna do a little bit better. And so I kind of had to adapt to that, right? Because down here my beans do very well, and there's no cumin in the seasoning that I make, and so those are kind of things that you pick up and you learn, right? That hey, this Mexican food down here might not be the same, and these are chado beans,
You want
right?
to say we're doing chado
Pinto
beans? We're doing
yeah,
like what kind of?
yeah. These
Let
are
me
chado
hop in
beans.
here because Caesar, I have been following your content for years, and I just want to try your beans. I do. So I'm not. Look, I am from South Mississippi, where we put powdered sugar on our barbecue. All right, literally, it's as sweet as can
Yeah.
be. And I love Texas barbecue. I took Aaron Leslie's class. I took Bill Purvis's class on barbecue champs. I figured out Texas competition barbecue in the flavor profiles that they provide, and I freaking love it. Tell me about the beans, because that's not something I'm familiar with. And Logan, I don't know if you're familiar with turning in competition beans. And I know they're not baked beans; they're the churro beans,
Yeah.
or charro. I don't know if I said that.
How do you
correctly.
say it, Keaton? Chiro beans.
Chiro beans.
There you go.
Us slow folks over here in Mississippi. So, can you tell us a little bit about your competition?
Sure.
Beans?
I mean, you're gonna start with a dry bean, right? Pinto bean. That casserole brand is my favorite brand of dry bean, and basically you want the bean to soak up some of your flavor, right? In the cooking process. But you're talking, think so a lot of folks are using cans of rotel, right? So think that, right? I don't use rotel, but I kind of make it from scratch, right? Cut some tomatoes, some onion, some jalapeno, saute that with some garlic and the onions, and basically you're making from scratch rotel. A lot of the guys started doing the can rotel because it's a lot easier, and at the end of the day, in the competition world, when you find a
It's
hack or a
delicious.
secret, yeah, you got to use it, right? Because at the end of the day, they're only taking one spoonful of those beans. But think fresh flavors, right? A little kick of cilantro at the end, and that's pretty much it. A very savory bite, right? There's three proteins in my beans, right? And so
Really?
like bacon, ham, I do chorizo, right? So those things carry over, I feel, right? It adds to the flavor profile, and so that's what you're biting, right? So imagine me at the Royal trying to figure out baked beans. It was not fun, you
I
know.
know. Look,
Uh,
I am thankful that you explained to our viewers the difference between baked beans and those, because for the longest time, I just thought y'all were turning in baked beans, and I'm like, man, I wonder
no,
what those taste like. I so
no,
I
they're
I'm yeah.
definitely a world of a difference, and it's a
Yeah.
soupy bean, right? It's more of it's definitely
Like
a
a
lot runnier.
like a
Mm.
ham hock and white bean kind of thing, man. It's very savory, very well. Chardo beans is it's a little different, a little flair, but it's more savory, like more so than say like baked beans where it's pretty much uh
Sugar.
diabetic
Yeah.
coma.
Yeah.
Don't I like
I didn't know what I was doing, but I
dude?
just threw
I put
a lot in a pan, and
yeah I put so much brown sugar and butter in my baked beans and make Paula Deen blush, man.
I bet.
It's this is how it is, man. Um, but no, man. So you kind of started this barbecue thing. You're from Texas, and barbecue down there is it's a different monster, man. Like people have heroes in Texas. I think people have a lot of barbecue heroes. Uh, kind of like talk about your earlier days when you first started off. Like, what was your first contest like versus, and then
Sure.
how does that differ kind of to how you are now? Uh, like how you prepare, what you bring, your mindset, stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. So it started off with, it was a local competition here in my hometown of Los Fresnos, right? And so we saw a flyer at the hardware store, and we're like, hey man, I can do this. And so we rolled up, and when we made a plan, we came up with a team name. We didn't know what the team name was, right? Honestly, I was in at that time, I was in a lot of those forums like the Barbecue Brethren, like just reading up on things. And so when I was looking for a team name, like I was googling team names that are out there, because I didn't want to take a team's name that's out there, right? So I'm looking to see what's out there. And I knew at that time that I wanted to focus around party and having fun and drinking, right? So I was like, hey man, let's do it where we can smoke the meat and then take a toast, and for the barbecue, right?
Somebody say
Uh
toast.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Watch out, man, because I'll have
We're
you
gonna
I'll
do
have you
our earlier one, a mid game, and the end of right before the questions
I'll
at the
have you
end.
crawl I'll
Hey
have you
man, sorry,
crawling
I
a
didn't.
mile.
I know you're hitting your stride, but you said toast, and my ears went to
Let's
fireball. I'm
go. Let's
sorry. I'm
go.
sorry. I'm sorry. Let's do it.
I waited on you.
Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Salud.
I filled mine with apple juice.
How you do it? You go.
There you go. That was a good one, dude.
Yeah. All right. So, smoking and
yeah.
toasting.
So that's how the name came up, right? I kind of Google searched that because I had seen smoking and roasting, actually, right? And that was up in like New Hampshire or something like that. And I was like, so it's not toasting, so I'm still good with that. And so then we just did it. We pulled out the copyright or whatever. Like I did all that way before, right? Just because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But I was like, look, man, I just don't want to be that guy that says I stole someone's name, right?
Yeah.
And even though I didn't know if I was going to do one cook or become what we became, right? So we created a name. I had a cartoon designer that does a lot of barbecue cartoons or logos. Back in the day, he did our logo, and we just went with it, right? So before, it was an overnight cook. I'm overnight cooking brisket. It's one of those, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's overnight
Up
cooking
all night.
brisket, up all night, man. You feel like trash, and you got
Trash
to
the
get
next
ready
day.
for, and you got to feel like you haven't gotten any sleep, and you got to already start cooking chicken, and you're like, shit, this sucks, Uh, I love when I discovered Hot and Fast, right? Um, but we had just one pit, right? So we cook everything in that big offset. So our chickens were super dark. There's a Mexican dish down here, or it's called mole. I don't know if y'all know mole,
Mole,
but
yeah.
it's basically brown chicken, right? Like the sauce is like a chocolate, right? That's what our chicken
Yeah.
looked like. But you know what? Our chicken still carried, like honestly, since the get-go, our chicken was always the most flavorful thing we turned in and the most consistent, right? Even though it looked crappy, it tasted good, and it was always the one that gave us a walk. And so I got hooked the first comp, and we got our ass kicked, right? But there's a gentleman there, you all probably know who he is, Arnie Segovia. He was
Oh,
there, and
the
I don't think he
goat.
won the cook-off, but I think he was like third overall, or probably he did win it, I don't know. But he was very extremely nice, extremely helpful, offered a slice of his brisket, and I'm like, oh shit, dude, we're way the freak off. And I remember offering him a slice, and man, he was very nice to me. But like he just said something
He
like,
seems like
oh,
a great guy.
he's like, oh, I think you need more salt, try more salt. And then he gave me a piece of his, right? Instead of just shitting on mine. And then I was like, oh damn.
So,
The brisket was tender, and our brisket was tender. But I know he didn't cook his for as long as we cooked ours. And so I remember that weekend I was like, conspiracy theory here. Like, all these guys are cheating. They're getting there at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, and we're here all night. And we all thought that it was BS until we figured it out. But that's what kind of springboarded everything. We began to, especially me, because I'm a very competitive person, right?
Hmm.
I was like, man, I'm not gonna let this stand. Like, I'm gonna figure it out. I wanted to take a whole year to see what I could do, right? Start tweaking, talk to some folks, meet some people, and see what we can make, right? And we got a little bit better. We started climbing into the top 10, but that was about it. That was what I would say was our ceiling. And everywhere you go down there, especially when Arnie was hot, right? He was in the competition circuit. He was the guy that everyone say, take a class, take a class, take this guy's class. So I finally said, look, if I'm gonna keep doing this because I really like it, I got to, before I hung it up, because I was about to start taking up golf or something. Like,
don't do
you know,
it.
I live 20 minutes away from salt water.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll buy a boat and just do that. Spend my money there.
It's
Mm.
expensive either way.
And yeah, it's either way, right?
Yeah.
A boat stands for what? Bust out another
Bring on,
thousand.
yeah,
Bust
bring on
out
another
another
1,000,
1,000. Yeah.
Yeah. So either way, it was
or
it was gonna
bend over and
be.
take it.
There you go. Not for me. I just bust up 1,000.
Caesar said, "Not today, brother."
Not today, not today.
So I was like, all right, you know what? Let me take this class. And that man opened my eyes to so many things that I was just, I wasn't far off. And I'm not saying that to be like to brag, but we weren't far off. But there was a couple tweaks in there, definitely some techniques, and definitely the hot and fast style of cooking that just said, okay, I get it. Man, we switched our game up. I swear, two cook-offs later, our first GC came, right? And we're like, okay.
Mhm.
And you could see it in everyone's faces, like, who the hell are these guys?
Right?
And it just it went forth from there. That was really the thing that drove us, right? Um, and that was still IBCA. I was cooking a lot. It was IBCA then. Our first GC was in IBCA, and then we leapfrogged into CBA, and CBA's been so fun. I don't know. I don't think you all have cooked the CBA, but the award styles, right? It's just so fun,
Right.
I want a walkout song.
Yeah, it's so cool, man. It's so cool to have a walk-up song.
What is your walk-up song?
So my this is my third walk-up song, and so my boy is my little boy. He's 7 right now, but he's picked up all of our walk-up songs, And so right now I don't have permission to change it, but also I don't think I want to. Now he's old enough where I'm like, I don't care what you say, But when a 4-year-old tells you I want this song, you're not gonna tell him no.
Yeah.
7, all right, take it easy, boy. But our first walk-up song was and nobody has it, which is weird. It was Thunder from Imagine Dragons. Imagine Dragons. And that one hit our first cook-off, or our first our biggest walk besides our first GC was first place brisket at the Chupacabra Throwdown in Hondo, Texas. But that was the biggest cook-off that we had gone to, right? And imagine the scenario, right? The kids are already, man, they're done. They're ready to go home. My wife's there. My parents are there. And they gave up, man. They're already walking. They're packing. They're trying to pack up because it was super cold. Cold, wet. It was nasty. And so they're like, hey, man, like, we'll basically wait for you in the car, And first place brisket hits, and boom, it's us. And we hear the song. We're going crazy. They're coming back running, and it was one of those things, right? But our first song was Thunder. Then he saw Shrek, one of the Shrek movies, and he was into All-Star.
Yeah.
Smash Mouth.
And then
so
I saw your face.
Yeah, and nobody has those songs right now.
That's not it.
And then later TikTok, or YouTube now, he has his tablet. They heard the Beautiful Day song, right? So that's been our song. It's kind of stuck. It's
about YouTube?
It's a hook right from the beginning, right? So when
it's
you
a beautiful day.
Yeah,
YouTube.
So
I don't want to act the high and mighty. That's how it starts, right? So it's just.
So do they play the song and then everybody's like, "Who is it?"
No, well, now everyone kind of knows, but if you don't know the song, then you kind of wait. But pretty much they'll tell you when you check in, hey, 3 people have the same song you have, but nobody has that song. Like no one's gonna think of that song, But yeah, you pretty much know. Like people, folks might pick like an AC/DC song, and like there might be like several teams that have that song. So you kind of have to wait because is it me? And we've seen it, where they're hollering and hooting.
Oh, so they got multiple people having the same song?
Yeah, but they tell you when you sign up, hey, just you can change it, and some folks be like, no, we don't want to change it. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And then come awards, they play it and they think it's them, even though they've told them, hey, there's multiple teams that have your song. And then they'll correct and they'll say the name. And they like to let the song play, for 3 or 4 seconds before they say the name, but we've seen it where people jump up and down, they think it's them and it's not them. And it's like, man, you probably should have changed your song, Like if I know Bill has chicken fried, like I'm not gonna go and pick chicken, I'm not gonna go pick that song, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna put myself to that,
I like I'm a big guy, I'm 9, and so whenever I do it, I like picking the girliest song I can think of. Whenever I do my walk-up song, I think one year we did like Madonna, Like a Virgin.
There you go. No one has that one. You'll be fine.
I did this year. I'm thinking about doing like all the pretty girls walk like this.
Yeah. I think you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I know, like Fred went there for a while with he wouldn't pick a song, so they would
Yeah.
pick it for him. They gave him all of them. They gave him Barney. They
Oh,
gave
Barney
him
be great.
Price is Right theme. And they're all
Oh,
great, but
no freaking way.
you
Price
gotta
is
start
Right.
it. You gotta start it with the first beat. And I think when you're selecting the song, you gotta think about it. So like within 4 seconds, 5 seconds, you already have to hear a lyric, right? Otherwise, it's kind of you can't hear like if you're sitting at a award, you can't hear the
Right.
song yet, and so it's kind of confusing, right? So a walk-up song has to start on the first beat, if you ask me, you know.
Hey, it's like a pitcher in MLB, man. Like if you ain't
Mhm.
got a bomb ass walk up song, I mean,
Yeah.
it
Like
like
one of the teams has the Hitman Barbecue has that song with
the Timmy Trumpet.
yeah, and
See,
that
I
one
already
sounds
know.
like
I
you
already
already
know.
know it's like boom.
Smoke Wagon
Yeah,
said, "Do Pink Pony Club."
I love that song, dude.
yeah.
Something about that
The,
trumpet, dude. Yeah, yeah.
perfect.
Smoke Wagon says, "Caesar, you need to do a Pink Pony Club."
Pink
Uh,
Pony Club. Somebody sign me to a record label now.
Right now, we're gonna stick with this one. Right?
You'll take it
We're
under
gonna
consideration, or
yeah.
Pitbull Fireball.
I'll
Like
send
that'd be
it.
the
I'll
perfect one
send
for
it.
you.
Yeah, somebody had it. So I think it was I can't remember who had it, but somebody had that song, and so I didn't want to do that. And that's a good walk-up song because it does start quick, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes some of the rap songs they're introducing themselves, and it
Uh-huh.
takes like 12 seconds before it's a banger, you know.
Yeah.
And they are bangers, right? They're great songs. They have great beats, but it takes too long to get to the to where where to start, right? So
I want to do the Reading Rainbow theme with DMX remix.
that would be a good one. That would be a good one.
Anything DMX would hit immediately. Yeah.
No, man.
I've done the Reading Rainbow trend that came out on TikTok a few years ago, where it's like a head flying in space. You know what I mean? And you're like wondering, and I did it like I'm wondering what the judges were thinking, kind of thing. You know, like trying to figure them out.
Dude, so I don't know. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Reading Rainbow. That was my jam.
We all were. We all
and
were.
Now I realize like they showed that in school so much where I went to a small country public school, and my teachers used to show me Reading Rainbow and Magic School Bus, and I realize now, and Keaton, you can back me up, the reason why those teachers did that. Your teachers back in the day, they pulled the TV out and they put the
computer
movies
on wheels.
Yeah, I thought it was because they're playing this. No, I'm 99% sure it's because they had a hangover and they didn't want to deal with those stupid kids. They're like, shut up, watch the movie, turn the lights down low. You can read a book to me.
Oh God.
Am I giving away secrets of public schools?
Magic School Bus taught us a lot regardless.
Yes, Miss Frizz.
Yeah,
she was a smoke show now.
And the iguana.
Yeah. Miss Frizz. They can't. Yeah, Miss Rizzle was an OG smoke wagon. So.
Cesar.
Cesar. Hey, so tell me, you're talking about starting off with your old handmade offsets. What you working with now? What's your equipment you're rocking, and why'd you pick that?
Right
Quattro D drums.
I want one so bad, dude.
That's all I rock right now. I'm running 3 Quattro Ds. I got 2 of the big ones, the 50 gallon drums, and then I have the Shorty 2.0.
You got the chicken cooker?
That's what I'm rocking. Yeah, that's where I rock my chicken.
Bobby, if you are watching, I want one bad, Bubba, and I promise I'm gonna order one soon.
It's they're the hottest drums on the market right now. I think I don't care what anybody says. The customization that they can do for you, you're already getting a badass smoker, but they're gonna say, hey, if you want a custom paint job. I saw some Extreme Outdoors down here in the valley. They have a barbecue shop, and they are one of the exclusive dealers of Quattro D drums right now, and they had a King Ranch edition drum smoker. And I don't know if you've seen a King Ranch Ford leather interior. It's literally that on a drum, so it's kind of like a tan. I mean, it's a leather paint. That's what it looks like with a tan hide exterior,
Seriously?
man, beautiful freaking drum, man. And so they're coming up with those
Oh,
designs that you haven't seen yet, and so I have a custom one right now. They have the whole sarape like this,
dude, I
all
saw that.
painted
That
on the
thing is
sides.
beautiful.
Yeah, obviously the more detail you want, the
Mm-hmm.
more expensive it's gonna be. But you know what? It's worth it. It's worth it if we're gonna do this every weekend, and we want
Yeah.
everyone who passes by to know who the hell we are.
Exactly.
It's worth it. I've won a few. Bobby is a huge ambassador of competition barbecue, so
Mm-hmm.
he's given up so many drums for like grand champion and reserve grand champion. I've won two drums with a grand champion at one cook-off, and at this one cook-off they did at the Dallas Cowboy Stadium. They did for the first place chicken, which ended up being me, and it has a custom paint job of a badass yardbird, like with like bling on, and it's real cool, one of a kind, one of one paint job. And so
Hell yeah.
I want to, and I've purchased a few on my own.
Cesar,
Well,
I
you
didn't know.
know,
I didn't know. Like, man, that's awesome, dude. You done something that few people have ever done, and that's one at the Cowboy Stadium. That's
Yeah.
a very, very, very impressive feat, man. Not many people
Well,
that get the.
didn't win, but I won first
You
place
won
chicken.
something at the Cowboy Stadium, man.
I
Not many
don't like
people.
to bring that up, and my boy
Cowboys
Alonso,
did not win there, and that's okay.
Nah.
Are
Hey,
you a Cowboys
Alon,
fan, Caesar?
no, I'm not. I'm actually, so I'm a transplant Houston Oiler Tennessee Titan fan. So I'm a Titan fan. That kind of just
Hey,
Hey,
let's
Oh,
Caesar,
go.
you're
I
a
saw
Titan
your
I'm from
shirt.
Nashville.
I
Let's
saw your
go.
shirt.
Yeah, I'm a Titan fan.
I saw
Yeah.
your shirt, and I loved it.
Yeah.
That you posted
It's
on
one of
social
those,
media.
yeah.
Yep, loved it.
Everyone knows that I'm a Titan fan. I'm an Oiler fan. We're gonna get some new unis this year, it looks like. So
We are. They're nice. They're looking nice.
we
Hey,
it's just
and
we
Caesar, I
didn't.
apologize. On behalf of all Tennesseans, I apologize. And thank you for coming along with the sickness.
Yeah,
I'm a Dallas
yeah.
Mavericks fan, too. So I'm a Tennessee Titans fan and a Dallas Mavericks fan. So I know nothing but sadness
Yeah.
in my life.
At least I'm a Spurs fan. So at least I got that on me.
You got Wimby. You got Wimby.
Yeah.
Hey, so
But
I kind of want to go back to the Quattro D, and you were talking
Mhm.
about the accessories. Dude, Kevin Hernandez posted something this weekend. I saw a rotisserie for his chicken.
Yeah, I don't know where that's coming or if that's coming along. I think that's something that they gotta discuss or release. But I'll tell you one thing, that looked like it made some really badass chicken, didn't it?
Dude, I want it.
Yeah.
I need
There's
it.
so much potential there. So much potential there. I want to mess with ribs.
Yes.
I mean, it's so smart, and that's what they're trying to be, just innovative with the drums, because
Mhm.
how much more innovative can you be, right? And so, like, if nobody takes the next step, right? I mean, I know Outlaw is taking a huge step too, right? And so
With the
I got to
Ringo,
give
yeah.
them some kudos, right? Because you wanna enhance what we got, right? And so I think if they release some version of what Kevin posted, I think it's gonna blow up, um,
Dude,
but
just a self-rotating rack
yeah,
like that.
Wait,
That'd be cool.
how does it rotate like this, or is it?
no,
No,
it's a
like
carousel.
that.
It's a carousel.
It's a carousel. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Go and check out my Pits Are Burning social media. He just posted it like yesterday.
Hmm.
I drooled over it. I watched it. Kevin, if you're watching, I watched that video at least 150 times. So you're welcome.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'm glad you brought that up, rotisseries, because I'm a huge fan of rotisserie pits, and I have my own personal thoughts on them. But I think like rotisserie pits are fantastic for ribs. I think they're some of the best rib cookers out there. Brisket as well, but for pork and chicken for comps, I think straight heat or offset heat is the best. What is
Yeah,
your
but because
opinion?
you're not cooking a half chicken, right? So
Yeah.
down here, he was cooking a half chicken on there, and I
Well,
think
that's true. That's true. But I still think, though, for the judges, they want that backyard or that grilling kind of flavor that comes with it. What's your opinions? Like, what proteins you think benefit from having the circulating, and what proteins you think kind of it's not so advantageous to do?
So yeah, I am a fan of, and where I've had success, right, is brisket with a so I have like a modified, I kind of made it my own, but like the gateway, holes, the what is it called, the deflector, and
Yeah.
that's it, right?
Yep.
And then coals, and I want no water pan, no, none of that, right? I want the brisket to drip onto the flames and catch some of that back, right? I think that
You want that sizzle.
yeah, that flavor profile is, man, it slaps, it really does, right? um with chicken as well, right? Chicken is another one where I think that having some of that, everyone remembers their dad like making barbecue or barbecue chicken and then
Burning the chicken.
saucing it like on the grill,
Little mop sauce.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and you kind
Oh.
of get that caramelized barbecue taste, right? And so I think in those two proteins it works. Ribs, I feel like it's probably something where you might want to think about the rotisserie, right? I really feel like an even heat, but also having some of that sizzle, it's gonna do really good.
Yeah.
But it's at the end of the day, you still gotta nail the texture. Like the taste is one thing, but if you're pulling those ribs or that chicken too early or too late, man, you're gonna kill yourself regardless.
I got you. All right. So you're talking about half chickens, in CBA. It's another thing you guys do that we don't do in KCBS.
Mhm.
So is Tiger Stripes? I've heard that Tiger Stripes are going the way of the dinosaurs, or are they still
I don't know. I've never turned in. I've never turned in a tiger stripe chicken. Not once. And I've been chicken team of the year, right? And no tiger
Mhm.
stripe. No tigers were harmed during
Oh,
that year. But I can see how some of the heavy hitters in chicken might do like a light, like where you can't tell it's a tiger stripe but still want to get some sizzle. I can see
Mhm.
how that would have some success, right? Because it still looks just enough backyardish to be like, man, this is kind of like the chicken I would make, but prettier.
you're right.
Mhm.
And whereas mine, where I don't do that, I don't flip my bird. I never have.
You go
But
meat side up the entire time.
the entire cook. I just rotate it. I just keep rotating it. Try to guard the breast, right? And just rotate as much as I can. Not as much as I can, but like every 30 minutes or so.
So you're
Um,
what, an hour and hour and a half?
no, my chickens, yeah, about an hour and a half.
Okay.
About an hour and a half. And that's because I'm still cooking super hot. But there's some things there that I do that on purpose. I'm trying to one cook a huge bird, right? And a lot of guys down
How
here they
heavy?
cook a small bird. So man, how many people
I'm
are
sorry. I'm
watching?
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Let
It's all
It's just,
good.
I,
let
see,
let me
it's just
say this.
me
I'm
and my
gonna ask the
mom watch this.
questions,
That's
and
it.
you can look at
Uh,
me and say, "No, I'm not telling you that,"
no,
and
so
nobody's
I
feelings
cook.
are going to be hurt.
So I cook a 5 pound plus bird.
Okay.
So anything
Wow.
and you see a lot of guys cooking 4 pounds and lower, right? So
I'm trying to hit that 4 to
yeah.
4.2.
So I'm cooking 5.25 is what I'm looking for in the market, right? So a whole bird, 5.25. I'm coming in and my trim job, the way I trim it, I'm trimming it to make it look like Rachel says a 4.9 bird. Right? So I'm gonna trim it. I'm gonna take some bones here out, some bones there out. It's gonna weigh a lot less, but in the
Mm-hmm.
box, and you all seen, or I know Keaton, you've seen some of my boxes. You're gonna see
Mm-hmm.
this breast, man, and I just trying to draw the judges to it because I feel like that's exactly what I want them to eat. That's the best bite in there.
Yeah, I like
You
the I
know,
like the big breast too. Yeah,
That's not the best bite. What you
that's
just
my
I
showed.
favorite
need y'all
bite
to
too,
know
man.
I refrained from leaning into that. And my coworkers in my office would have been proud with me. I'm gonna tell
Yeah,
them, go
good
look at
job.
49 minutes in this podcast, and they're gonna be like, "I'm so proud of you for not making any
So
sort of
proud.
sexual
No
innuendo."
motorboating or anything.
So, no, the judges just get their head in there and just like, smells good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh,
yeah.
no, so
So,
all right, so yeah, hold on. Let's talk about CBA because, like I
Mhm.
said, I mean, Texas CBA is king. Up where we are, obviously, KCBS is the top dog for the most part.
Right.
I mean, for the most part. Um like what are because you cooked both because you cooked the Royal last year, correct? You're up there freezing your butt off.
First KCBS.
Me too. Hey, we popped our cherries together, man. That was my first Royal too. And what a
hold up. Stop. Can we do this?
Well, yeah, one more. What am I?
After that.
How many more do you have, Cesar?
Man, don't even ask.
I got two left. Man. My wife brought me two in the middle of it.
Enough to get dragged back inside.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Salute. I love that y'all are drinking like 60 proof like malt liquor, and I'm over here drinking 130 proof Kentucky bourbon. It burns.
How did the show end? Well, Logan went to sleep.
Yeah,
I've done that. I've done that to shows.
Don't say that.
Cesar, if you go back in the library of Right on Cue, there's maybe one podcast where I mixed a copious amounts of cough syrup and Kentucky bourbon, and I made my own variation of redneck lean. To at the beginning of the show and the end of the show, let's just say we're two different shows. But no, it's talking about CBA. What were your thoughts? Because the timeline on CBA and KCBS are completely different. So when you came to the Royal, let's talk about the Royal because I want to talk about that because that was my first Royal too. It was I had a blast seeing all the teams that we haven't seen and you see on TV or you see on social media all the time. It's one big homecoming, and I'll tell you what, Texas, they show strong. They travel well and they show strong. What was kind of like your experience? Was that your first KCBS comp you cooked, or
that was my first KCBS?
Yeah, so
that was my first KCBS.
Tell me your opinions.
So a lot of the times I cook solo, right? I have one of my real good friends who stuck around and comes with me, and he came with me to the Royal, and so did my wife. But only because I was so worried about the turn-in times, man. I was so worried about the 30-minute window. In CBA, just to quickly compare them, I can run my own boxes, which I do, right? I run my own boxes and I already know what I have to do when I get back to the camp. Take a fireball and then the next steps, right? And I have time. I have a cushion, right? In the KCBS, I didn't have that cushion because I still wanted to keep a very similar cook profile, right? I mean, if you're the type of cook that wants and this is just, and I may be way off, right? But
cook your cook, man.
Yeah. I didn't want to let my pork or my pork or ribs rest so long, like that's just me. That's just how I've always cooked. I've had success, and so I didn't want to like have, they tell you like before chicken, make sure everything's done, right? I didn't really necessarily feel like I wanted to do that. I kind of wanted to time it to where I was turning in chicken and I was finishing everything up. Yeah. And so that's what I did, but I had to have the support there because if I didn't have the support of my wife and my friend Frank, I wouldn't have had the confidence to do that. I would have had to have everything done before chicken was done. Right.
So chicken was finished. You still had ribs on the smoker?
They were about finished. They were about finishing up, and pork was about finishing up. I basically timed it to where pork and ribs were finishing at the same time. Brisket was still not out.
So when you do CBA, your pork is on when you're turning chicken in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got an hour between turn-ins, right?
Oh yeah. No,
dude, my pork is off at like 10 a.m. Chicken's being turned in at what, 11?
Yeah. Okay.
12.
Well, yours is 11. Mine's at 12.
So what time are you putting on your pork, if you don't mind me asking?
My pork is usually rolling probably 3.5, 4 hours. So I'm putting pork on. Sometimes I get nervous. I get in my feelings, and I'm like, I'm gonna put pork on at 5:30.
Yeah.
But where's my schedule? I got my schedule somewhere.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah, sometimes I put that shit on early because I know pork can hold well. I'm probably putting pork on usually 6 to 7, just depending on the weather. And I'm just letting that shit roll until probably 10:30. Of course, it's no secret. I'm pulling my pork off right as it's getting to that probe tender stage.
Yeah.
Any further, and it's just going to be mush when
So you kind of let it carry over.
I do, yeah. I depend on that rest.
Yeah, I got you. And to me, I kind of like it too. And it isn't. I can't say shit because I'm not I've been rib team of the year in CBA, but pork is my nemesis, But one of the things what I will say is like I kind of like the texture of not so rested pork, like anything under 45-minute, rest, like where I'm just kind of slicing it. Man, that texture, it's done good to me, but it's also done me in, right? But
sometimes it can get kind of the texture. It can get almost mushy. Tough. Yeah,
well, mushy to me, it's mushy if you leave it holding so long. And I guess the Cambro, it all depends on what's inside it. What's the temperature, right? In my opinion, right? So I'm trying to avoid that, right? And so I've had some success with less rest, right? Cooking to the box. I try to cook to the box, but in KCBS this year, I mean, I couldn't necessarily cook to the box, but I tried. Our chicken hit, and I was ecstatic about that.
I was pumped to see that, dude.
Yeah, our chicken hit, and we got a ribbon, right? And so, for being our first time up there, it was freaking awesome to at least have it. I mentioned I'm a jackpot cook, and so our dessert had a perfect score.
Beautiful, by the way, cheesecake.
It didn't.
Right?
It didn't. It was a carrot cake cheesecake. So basically, it's a carrot cake on the bottom with a cheesecake on top of it. It didn't. It was a tie between the ribbons that walked and all the way to mine. I think I was 21st.
Yeah, that's crazy. Perfect. They're all perfect.
Perfect after like a certain amount. But we weren't in the perfect range. But we're in the perfect score category. But we're still in the perfect score category where they're all tied and they had to kind of shuffle them or whatever. But still, man, to find that out on the ride home, right? It was like, man, we were already pumped about, we got a ribbon, and then to find out, hey, man, we got a perfect score. And then they sent us in the mail a letter and it had our little perfect score pin. And it was really cool, right? But KCBS in the 30-minute walks, like we were saying, like I have to have somebody there. Like I'm looking at this year doing more KCBS. That's my goal. So I'm already looking at. There's a doubleheader in New Mexico, and it's in June. And it looks like we're going to sign up this week. I'm pending confirmation from the final boss, but I think we're going to make a family road trip out of it and go out there to Ruidoso, New Mexico for that doubleheader. It's a qualifier for the barbecue World Cup or whatever.
Do it.
And it's a big payout. So also it's not even that. It's also how can I fine tune this more, right? Because cooking that first KCBS kind of left me wanting more. It's like, man, dude, like
it's like, ooh, I'm addicted to it now.
It's one of those things where you could. I mean, I had to not take my fireball after returning, right? I couldn't. Messed up. But it was one of those things where I feel like the more you cook them, and it's just like in any sanctioning body, the more comfortable you'll get with the routine, right? And you can really fine tune those timelines.
Yeah,
I feel like in case it's like we call them, our program, your chicken program, your pork program, whatever. I feel like, I mean, there's certain KCBS cooks, some of the elites, and I've taken their classes and I've seen their they give you their timelines. I mean, some of these dudes, I mean, they have it down to when they cough, fart, and poop. I mean, when those 30-minute intervals, which it's a rush, but it's also, man, it's stressful. Like there's a lot of strategy when it comes to turn-ins. Like we talk on here, like you do KCBS, like you want to be that first chicken box like turned in, and then because that's going to carry over to ribs. Because when you start dragging, I mean, Keaton, you can back me up. When you start dragging, say your chicken's late, and then you have less time on ribs, and then pork is when you want to save all that time up for. You want to be as much time as you can on pork. For me, because pork box for me is it's the longest. It's the longest. Process of any of the boxes. Then brisket's just blah blah blah. Turn in, and finish them, you're good to go. But pork, like you got to really be early on chicken and ribs to kind of give you that buffer for pork for the brisket. Because you know how it is in barbecue. I mean, the difference between first and 13th could be 2 minutes. 2 minutes longer finishing or 2 minutes longer warming up or something like that. I mean, it's all comes down to the minuscule things at a certain level.
Well, let me ask you about pork, Caesar. Are you a money muscle guy, or are you trying to turn in bacon?
I mean, no, I'm definitely I'm definitely a money muscle. I think money muscle is king, right? But I'm doing like the three-quarter butt, with the money muscle attached to the side pieces, because I still want to pull the tubes out. I still want to be able to maybe pull some chunk out. And basically I'll do, so this weekend I did 2 rows of monies and just chunks in the middle. But all on the bottom was my bacon. All underneath it was my bacon and all the other chopped, right? To just try to keep it warm,
So with CBA, you loaded that bottom.
They don't care. Yeah, you can. And I felt like it was still light, like I cooked four pork butts this weekend.
Okay.
So they weren't collars. They were like that 3/4 trim. I cooked 4. I feel like I should have cooked 5, to be honest, right?
Ooh.
And that's just because of the cook-off, I wish that I had a little bit more options for what I was going to turn in for the 2 money rolls and what I was going to turn in for the chunks, because basically to me, right, what doesn't become a money muscle is going into the chunks, right? And,
so let me ask you this.
As long as it's soft, right?
Yeah, as long as it's soft. When you are looking at your pork butts, what are you looking for? Because I know a lot of people that are watching right now, they're looking for tips and tricks. So what are you looking for with pork butts?
So, I mean, I'm looking for the money muscle. You start with the money muscle, and I think you work your way around to the back end to see if it has some fat cap or not. I'm not a stickler of it because I'm not really, like, down here, the bacon doesn't really, to me, right, it's not a make or break, like you can shred some tube up and just layer it, or even serve it just shredded tube, right? And you can be fine. But so it's not a make or break. If I find a really great muscle and it doesn't have the fat cap, because sometimes they score, they score the fat off right where you would want it.
Every time they just scalp it.
Yeah, and I don't know why they don't do the scalp on the other side, right?
Yeah,
but,
do it over there by the bone, man.
Yeah. But I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the money muscle. See, you grab it, see if it's kind of like rounded out. I'm mainly cooking Prairie Fresh, right? Down here, especially, I think they're in abundance at the Walmarts, and we have a lot of Walmarts down here that carry it. I don't know.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, all our Walmarts carry Prairie Fresh.
Shut the front door. You get HEB and you get Walmarts that carry Prairie Fresh. Right. Logan, I quit. There's no way we can compete with Texas.
So HEB doesn't carry Prairie Fresh.
No, but HEB carries Snake River Farms.
Yeah, they have.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
I don't understand, man.
And some of the guys are saying that Costco they're carrying Imperials. Too.
They are. So I go to New Orleans to get my Imperials, and you want to know something? I live in Gulfport, Mississippi, and they sell from time to time Snake River Farms Wagyu briskets. It's not black or gold. They don't label them that way, so they're not the competition grade stuff. But they're still, the marbling's good, dude.
Oh yeah. Snakes. So with the HEBs down here, you ask them to take them out and they bring you a cage, you can see the tag on it, and you can see if it's gold or if it's black, and that's the only way to really tell, right? And so, like, if you ask them, hey, do you have any more briskets, and they pull out some in the case, and you see the tag on the case, you can tell if it's a gold brisket or a black brisket. And man, I've had a lot of success with both, man. I'll never Snake River Farms, man. They're the
upper
top
echelon,
grade,
man.
Yeah.
Have you cooked the other ones? Have you cooked like the Imperials? Have you cooked the A9s?
Yeah. I've never cooked an A9. I've had some success with Imperial. I don't dislike Imperial. But I've had the most successful steakburger farms, Gold and Blacks. I've cooked the oh man, they're called man, I can't remember. There's like a Japanese brand. I don't know. I can never say it right, but
Wagyu.
Caesar
yeah.
got Caesar got Kobe briskets coming in, man. The
Kobe.
No, the HEB
Kobe
does,
beef.
and
Just
the thing
trade.
with the HEB is that, man, they look great. Those Miyakasha, I don't know what they're called, but
Expensive.
they're the same. They're the same price as the snakes, but it just depends who they shipped from, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried them before, man, and they're just so how could I say it? They're very I don't know, they're iffy, right? Like, man, you feel like they're probe tender, and you're like, man, I think it's time to pull it out, and then you're going to slice it, and it's tough, and you're like, what the hell? Like it sucked it all up or something, you know?
So they just tighten
Uh,
up really quick.
yeah, they tighten up a lot quicker. Like maybe like the marbling isn't like as in depth of the meat that you think it was when you
Yeah.
were probing it, right? And so I honestly think those guys that are cooking those and do well, they're getting lucky, you know. Like,
I mean, you think they're just taking them as far as they can
Mishima
without it
Reserve.
collapsing?
those Miyoshima Reserve, yeah, those are the
Mishima
ones where I feel
Reserve.
Thank you,
like,
Dan.
man,
Thank you, Eric. Yeah.
they're not, they look great though in the package. They really do look great, but
So do you need to take those just as far as you can?
I can't tell you because every time I've cooked them twice because I couldn't find anything else, and they look great. And I cooked them. They were, man, they felt jello. You know, they were like they're there. And then when I sliced them, which I don't even rest them too long, you know. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe those need way longer resting than the
I don't
snakes,
know,
right?
man. I rest mine maybe 30 minutes
But,
tops.
yeah, me too. Me too.
So
Yeah, me too. But what I'm saying is, man, every time that I've cooked those, I haven't been satisfied with what I'm putting in the box, and it shows in the judging room. Which sometimes you're like, you don't like it, and then it does really good, right? But the two times I've done those, it just hasn't, right? So
leaves
hope they're
you
not a sponsor
questioning
of
your
your show.
decisions.
Man, I kind of want to I'll pivot kind of away from competition barbecue now. We're on the back nine of the show. I kind of want to, anytime I get some people from Texas, my lovely barbecue people from Texas, I got to bring up barbecue culture in that state because I feel like Texas more so. I mean, don't get me wrong. Every region, like the Carolinas, got their own culture. Even Memphis got a little culture. There's definitely regions of the barbecue which we talk about. Kansas City for sure, obviously. But Texas, I feel like it's ingrained in everything when it comes to barbecue. It's literally the only state where they have the Texas Monthly Top 50. If you make that list, I mean that's a winning lottery ticket.
You become a millionaire.
Yeah. I mean that's if you make number one, just start right here all day,
Right.
all day long. My boys at Goldie's, man, they hit the jackpot. Was it last year or 2 years ago? But what do you think it is about Texas, like barbecue in Texas, that is so just ingrained in everyday life and in the culture down there?
Sure. And not an easy question, bro, that you asked, right? I think even in Texas, you're looking at, I mentioned regions earlier, right? Like my barbecue doesn't do good in Houston, but it might do good in Central Texas or whatever, right? I think if we're talking competition or we're talking just traditional barbecue, right? For me, I could speak to South Texas barbecue, right? And so with me, I think growing up, and it shows, right? I ate a lot of what we call barbacoa, right?
Yeah.
Right. So like that is a staple of South Texas, right? And that's when you do the cheek meat, the tongue meat, you do the whole heads and the whole. I remember doing it, lengua.
I love tongue, brother.
Yeah.
We know you do, Keaton.
Let me bow out gracefully.
But you're looking for the spices to really bring up the flavor of the meat, right? And then when you look at in my opinion, right, the what we known as a staple of barbecue, like in the Central Texas region, right? It's more of the meat less does the talking, right? So just coarse coarse black pepper, some coarse salt, and just let the meat flare up, right? Whereas what I was used to is like, man, dude, like it's always a bay. You gotta throw a bay leaf in there,
Oh,
a
every
bay
time,
leaf or
man.
two, right? And so it's
Bay
one of
leaf.
those things where you have to help bring more flavor to the meat, right? Because you're talking about cooking a head of cow, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and if you
You got
look
to pump
back
as
at
much
it,
flavor
it's
as you
kind of
can.
like they were the cheapest things to cook, right? And so,
Yep.
like, these are the things that nobody wanted, right? Including the brisket eventually, right? But like this is what we grew up on, right? And so it's more spice than heat. You're looking at beef cheek, which is barbacoa, cabeza, that kind of stuff, right? When you look at the culture and barbecue,
Yeah.
I think we all appreciate a just a good taste, a good bite. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like if you ask my parents, right, they want more. Just say, let's simplify this, right? Salt, pepper. I want to taste the meat. But in certain dishes, right? And if we're talking about like what we call guisado, right? Like carne guisada, slow cooked beef or slow cooked anything, right? We really gotta pump up the flavor with some of the spices that we have in abundance of, right? And so I would say the culture varies, right? But at the same time, man, it's all beautiful, right? And
Yeah.
everyone in Texas appreciates just a good bite. You know what I mean? And so we can tell that it's, barbacoa, for example, is just spread, and it keeps spreading. You know what I mean? It keeps spreading so much that we used to buy the whole head of cattle, right? And it included the tongue. Now it doesn't include the tongue because there's a market
It's
for the
so in
tongue.
demand.
Yeah, there's a market for the tongue that now you get the whole head and it has the cheeks, but it doesn't have the tongue because there's a demand for the tongue that they sell that at a different weight, at a different price per pound. And it's one of those things which is beautiful to see. And I'm sure we see it in other cultures with like the oxtails and stuff like that. But it's one of those things where people love good food and people don't know what good is until they try it. They're like, oh shit, this was
Yeah.
oxtail, or oh, this was the cheek of the cow. Yeah, it was. Um, Fat is flavor, and I think
Oh,
people are figuring it out. That
You hear that, ladies?
yeah.
yeah.
Fast flavor, but yeah.
Cesar, I
I
just
don't
need to
have
say this. You
I don't
said
have to
carne
stand up.
gasada.
Uh-huh.
Carne asada.
So
No,
no, carne
guisada.
gasada. So
Guisada.
Fred and Bill have been putting that out there on social media. And I told my wife, I'm like, what are we doing? Like, they're doing it the
Yeah.
right way with all this brisket trimmings.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is I gotta try it, man.
Mhm.
I mean, how much better is it than carne asada?
So two different things. Carne guisada, you're looking at more like a stew,
Yeah.
almost, right? A thick stew. But man, carne guisada slaps, man. That is on a warm flour tortilla. That slaps, and all you're doing is you're slow roasting your in this case, right, brisket trimming, right, in very familiar flavors that we're all used to, right, especially in our Hispanic culture, right. You're gonna throw bay leaf in there, right.
Every
You're
time,
gonna have,
man.
yeah, you're gonna have
Bay leaf.
some of those seasonings that we're used to in maybe like our fajitas, right. Beef is king, right. I know there's so many people marinating with like citrus and all that crap, but beef is flavor, man. Beef is king, right. And so if you could, the beefier to me, the better, right. And you're trying to make more out of a little, right. So like getting the roux down to where you can make it a little thicker, and so that's also to calorie intake, right. You may not get a chunk of meat, but you get a spoonful of the sauce or whatever, right. And that's also caloric intake, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, man, you slow roast beef to the point where you grab it and you can mush it, you can
Mm-hmm.
mush it down. It's so soft. Man, that is some good eating right there. And you put that on a flour tortilla, put a little bit of sharp cheddar cheese over the top, get out.
I have not
Man,
eaten
I'll
promise
tell
dinner
you,
you.
yet, and I'm starving.
I
this is like
promise
a
you.
1-900 number for like food porn right here, guys. I mean, I
And
got to speak
there's
slower and a
there
deeper
if you
voice for
have an
me.
Instapot, you can
Yes.
do it easily. And
Don't play with me.
yeah, there's ways to do it where you just want to you saute your meat on the bottom of the Instapot, right? And then you just add the rest of the ingredient. You want some tomato in there. You want some of those herbaceous, spices
Mm-hmm.
that comes with Mexican Mexican
Yeah.
food, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you set and forget it, man. Some tomato puree or tomato paste, a little bit. I mean, man, there's so many recipes out there, man. But you find the one you like. What are you gonna do with the brisket trimmings, right? Like there's
Yeah.
only so much, right? So
Beat up tacos, man.
yeah, all of
Yeah.
that,
I did
very
I did
similar, very
kebabs the
similar.
other day, and I took them to the boiling point just to make sure they were tender enough for
Yeah.
everybody in the house.
Yeah, pressure
Um,
cooker has been one of
yeah.
those things where like it makes it so much more convenient, right? It's the pellet
Right.
smoker of the
Yeah.
slow cooking world, right? Because the slow cooker, like that's what we used to make carne guisada in, right? Or besides making it outdoors, right? Like I remember, putting it into the slow cookers, right? The crock pots, and just leave
Mm-hmm.
it overnight, and in the morning or for lunchtime, you're gonna have some really good carne guisada.
I'm eating it for
Um,
breakfast, boys.
yeah, and you know what else is really good, right? Is you cut a couple potatoes into it, and you make more because the texture it ends up being, I don't want to say identical, but it's very similar. Like if you bite a piece of that carne guisada beef, but also some papa or potato, we call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yeah.
they're very identical because they all soaked in the same flavor,
It's just
so you just
delicious.
make more out of a
Yeah.
little bit, right?
You can
Which is what
stretch a
we're accustomed
dish.
to, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Caesar,
All right.
I'm curious. Logan, I'm sorry. I got to know.
No, go
Caesar,
ahead, man.
how much of your culture have you blended into your competition barbecue persona?
Yeah. So I think a lot, right? I very proud of being from South Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm very proud of my Mexican American roots.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so there is definitely an influence in everything that I do, right? When it comes to, I mean, when I look at it, and this is just me, right? When I look at it, especially in the chicken game, man, like that is the flavor profile that we already know. Like if you're not using nor, right? And nor is the chicken
The chicken
bouillon.
bouillon every
I
time, my
mean,
boy.
bro, I've been my grandma, everyone's been using that. You know what I mean? So like that to me, and those kind of, and if you dissect some of the products that are on the market, right? They have to have some level of my culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our culture into it, and so it's one of those things where there's not much more I could put into it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's already there, And so when I feed my family or when we feed our guests, even if we're backyard cooking, they already know, that the flavor is very familiar to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think it'll weird them out more if I take them, something that has more like pineapple flavor, like you know what I mean? Like because I've seen it. I've said I'm not dogging them because it works sometimes. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I have done research to know where, you know, uh, you know. Let me give you a brief backstory, right? So my fajita game, right? Fajita, I started blending papaya, right?
Ooh.
And marinating, letting it sit in papaya, right? This was a long time ago, right? I don't do that anymore, right?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I then I found out that a lot of these tenderizers, that's what they're using. If you look at the ingredients, they're using a form of papaya in there. But I found that out from my dad, who told me like, hey, this guy who sells meat in this meat market is telling me that they're doing this. Try this. All right, I'll try it. Shit, man, you leave fajita and papaya for long enough, man, it's gonna dissolve. It's gonna dissolve, you know.
So
and
is
like,
papaya a lot like pineapple in terms of that enzyme?
it's more powerful, right?
That
Really?
citric acid stronger in it.
Yeah. And it's plentiful down here. It's plentiful down here, right? And so, like, I mean, we have a papaya tree, right? Everyone has a papaya tree, right? And so, like, it's one of those things where you kind of use what you got, but you figure out how to use it. And so then I figured out, oh man, like if you look at Fajita Fiesta, right? Fiesta brand, right? You look at the ingredients in their tenderizer or whatever. Oh, they're using like papaya, or they're using some sort of citric acid, right? Like you said, Logan.
To just break it down.
Yeah, and so it's like I found out like the back door, right? The blend it in the blender and just let your fajitas soak in it, rinse them off, season them, throw them on the grill. They're gonna be great, you know, because fajitas and other meat cuts like that, they weren't meant to be as expensive as they are now. You know, they were meant to be like nobody wanted that, and so like let's make the best out of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
hell yeah,
fair, man. Well, good deal, man. Hey, I feel like we could sit here and talk barbecue, and I'm honestly I'm getting just like my mouth's watering.
I feel like we should write up the grill, man.
That's my two favorite foods, man. You got the Mexican food and the barbecue, and I'm just sitting here like just talk slower, just talk more to me. No, but man, this is the time of show where we kind of do like a little rapid fire questions, a little quick fire, nothing too serious, and it's kind of how we wrap up the show. But you ready to rock?
Let's go.
Hold up. Do we need to do a shot before we do that?
How many seconds do I get to answer? Like we need a timer.
No. Yeah, you know what? I need to get like a timer put on the stream.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Logan, we got one more shot, my boy.
All right, finish it up. Finish up strong before the serious questions come. Ready?
My mind wanders, man, and I'll start.
Cheers, boys. Hey, best show. Woo!
Ric Flair,
4 turn-ins.
That was 4 turn-ins.
4 turn-ins, boys.
4 turn-ins. Right. Good. Now I can ask them the good questions.
Uh-oh.
No.
Not my favorite websites.
Yeah. I feel like one of them's got a drum solo. Anyways, so I hear. No, man. So when it comes to barbecue, if you got a Rushmore, who are you going to put on top of there?
So that's 4 heads, right?
I mean, yeah, usually Mount Rushmore's 4. So you meet Rushmore.
I don't know. So I put Arnie up there, and this is very Texas biased, right? But also
absolutely
on purpose. Arnie's the first head up on there with his big mustache. I put the other one that I put is it's got to be Ernest Cervantes, right? And I've met him one time. He probably
Dude's a legend.
He doesn't know who I am, but he's a legend. You know what I'm saying? And that man is, believe it or not, it was the TV, right? That's what got me, right? Seeing him on TV, that kind of stuff, right? So Ernest Cervantes, I put Clarence Joseph on there. You know, he's one of those those guys that I took. So I took his class, right? I took a online version of his class, and I learned also so much more, right? Like it just like opened up a bigger door, you know, not a bigger door, but it was just one of those things where if you're a cook and you're looking for technique and you're no longer. So I don't believe in just taking every class, but I do believe in continuing education, right? And so like I feel like just like in any profession.
You gotta get your CEUs, baby.
Yeah. So I feel like, man, there's nothing wrong with investing in one of these pros. I've done a class already, right? And I've had some of my class members have success. So there's nothing wrong with continuing your education in barbecue, right? So I put Clarence on there. And then the last one. So I got man. I'd probably have to put Fred Robles on there. Being
Fred,
from the valley,
Brisket King.
being from the valley, I have to put him on there. But it's close between him and Bill, right? I think Bill is, Bill's everyone's homie.
Yeah,
If you know what I
everybody
mean,
loves
right?
Bill.
He
That
can
guy
connect with
has
every level.
he has
Yeah.
such a big heart, and he knows exactly. He can connect with everyone, and so, and besides his products, also changing my game. 'Cause that's all I use is Game Over. Yeah, I know we were talking about a little bit before the show that Game Over has changed my
Yeah.
game. Um, but those are that's my, yeah. I hear you, man, but
No,
I'm okay.
Let me
Look,
say this:
let me say,
you
hold on,
gave
hold on.
I got
Cesar,
I got to throw some influence in there, man. I mean,
No,
you
Game
gave
Over.
me
I mean,
something,
have you had the
Cesar.
Peep Show? It's got a stripper and a chicken. And
look,
come on.
here's what Game Over got me.
Ah!
That's a big cock.
So I'm okay. I'm doing okay. Me and him we're chilling. But but I'm not down to not try anything new. You know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
I know.
But when you when
Totally.
you get to a rhythm with a product and you learn how to use it, man, it's hard to move away from it until it really stops working. But it
Yeah,
hasn't,
I get it, man, for sure. All right, man. That was a good rapid fire question. I'm messing with you. Next, so if you're at a barbecue competition, what is one thing you always have with you, and you cannot say your thermometer or thermopen?
Fireball.
Fireball.
So I have to
Every
make
time
it
we
a
say that
point.
tonight.
I have to make it a point. Like, I'm always like, shit, do I have Fireball still in the freezer? No, I don't. I gotta go get another. But I have so many damn buckets. I literally use. So they sell them in these buckets, right? I
Yeah,
use these
the
buckets
party
now.
ball.
I use them for my fire starters. I
Yeah.
just dump the cardboard
Do
box
you
of the
really?
tumbleweeds in there, and I just close it.
How do you
And
light
that's
your
what I
fire? Fireball.
well,
Fireball. Yeah.
yeah, I bust out the bucket, but there's
But
tumbleweeds in there.
nah. All right, man. Good deal. Good deal. All right. So in Texas, everybody has a great chili recipe in Texas, right?
Mm.
What is your favorite bean to put in your Texas chili?
So Texas chili really doesn't have beans.
I know it's a trick question. It's a
But
trick. I'm trying to get you in trouble, Cesar.
but
Bush League.
I'm gonna respond to that, right? Because Texas chili doesn't have bean, but my chili growing up always had beans, right?
That's
And I
right.
think that's also that Mexican
I am
influence
team
into chili.
beans.
That's right.
And so, like, man, if we can make, like, remember I just told you about the potato and the carne asada. Like, if you can
That's
make
right.
more out of the dish, but it taste the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we got 5 kids to feed, 3 kids to feed, right? Like, let them eat a little bit of bean and the chili, and they're not gonna know the difference on a
Yeah.
cracker or on some cornbread or whatever, and it'll be all right. But no, traditionally, and I'm going to chili cook off in 2 weeks.
You
No
putting
beans.
beans?
No beans. No beans
Ah, damn! I'm trying to trick you.
no
So we got.
traditional chili cook-offs, no beans allowed.
I got you. I always make a joke on my podcast. I said
Yeah.
the Texas chili is equivalent to a sloppy Joe, man. Unless you add beans, it's just a sloppy Joe.
I don't deny that. Like, and I'm from Texas, but I'm a Mexican, right? So I gotta have
You love
some
your
bean in
beans,
there.
baby.
I gotta have some bean in there. But I get it. I get that they want to just eat sloppy Joe, and I get it. But
I know.
man, it
I love
ain't
my
bad.
Texas
It ain't
people.
bad with some cheese and some chopped onion. Man, that's some good stuff right there. You can't
On a
deny
hot
it.
dog.
My
Yeah.
pits are burning. Ears must have been burning.
No, man. I always love messing with my Texas people. All right, man. In Texas barbecue, I mean, y'all are known for your craft, barbecue. It's a scene. It's not just a restaurant. Some of these barbecue restaurants, it's not a scene. I mean, it's not just a restaurant like you're going to a Golden Corral or something. It's an experience.
Mm-hmm.
What is one barbecue restaurant you've been to that you can describe it as an experience versus a restaurant? And tell me why that is.
I mean, man, there's so many down here. or not down here necessarily, but well, yeah, down here too. But um, there's two. I'm gonna bring up two, right? Because they're very similar. One is not in the valley, and one is in the valley. And the one that's outside of the valley is burnt bean.
Burnt bean,
Everyone,
Ernesto.
everyone knows burnt bean. You walk in, it feels like you're at home, right? And the food, like every when they say it's an experience, is because the food is a work of art, you know.
Yeah.
And man, I'm a new owner of a barbecue food truck, food trader,
Congratulations.
and I'm not trying to, honest to God, I'm not trying to be burnt bean, and
Not a bad thing to be.
yeah, it's not a bad thing to be, but it's just like, man,
Yeah.
that is
Perfection.
a machine of a perfection. I'm just trying to sell, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to continue your hobby.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, and it's gonna be great food, right? It's gonna be great food, but I'm trying to do like fairs and stuff like that, right? The work of art that they put into every dish at Burnt Bean is beyond anything I've seen at any other. Like, you could put that up to a fancy French restaurant, or like, one of those restaurants. You could put it up to it because, man, they take so much time within that line, right? The
Yeah.
service line. And I've worked in restaurants, so I've managed restaurants. I've worked in an Italian restaurant where I understand the process of building plates, right?
Yeah.
They take that amount of time for your barbecue, right? And so burnt beans got to be up there, right? And that's the reason why. And the other one, which I feel like is the trajectory is similar to burnt bean as far as what they offer and how they offer it, is G Waltz down here
G Walt.
yeah, down here in the valley, right? They've had, I mean, I've gone there twice, and both experiences have been phenomenal. And it's one of those things where same thing, they welcome you at the door because there's a line, right? But they want you to understand that we know you have been in line, but get ready because this is going to be great, you know?
Yeah.
And then you get there and you're not disappointed. You're not disappointed with anything, right?
Yeah.
And the amount of work that those boys put in, both G Waltz and Ernest, right? Man, they're putting in their work in refining their other dishes, right? Because barbecue, you can nail it down.
Yeah.
You can nail it down where it's perfect, right? But man, some of their sides, I swear, the pork belly fried rice from G Waltz was something I can't stop thinking about.
Shut the front door.
Yeah,
you have piqued my interest, sir.
Yeah, I'm down.
It was so good, and it's one of those things where it's like, man, the brisket was good, the rib was really badass. Man, but you know what? If I could just get a bowl of that pork belly fried rice. That's what I would eat for lunch. Like, just give me like a drive-through for just that, like, because that's something like is good. It'll fill you up,
Yeah.
And so those are the two restaurants that I would say really define, right, barbecue for me, and that
Texas craft
experience.
barbecue.
Yeah.
I got you. I tell you what,
Definitely.
man, like you're talking about in the restaurant industry, like there's certain restaurants that people go stage at, which essentially you're volunteering your time just to learn from, like the French Laundry or something like that. Some of the best restaurants in the world. Dude, Burnt Bean would be one that I would volunteer. Like I would almost pay for the experience to learn to work there for a month and like learn his
shig
how
as
he
much as you
processes.
can.
Oh, I would shig the hell out of that stuff, man. I mean, I'm just ungodly shigging of Ernest's masterpieces that he does. It's funny. So we did a whole Texas month on this podcast with all the big boys, Aaron, Bill, all the guys, and I always ask them, like, what's your favorite barbecue restaurant in the state of Texas? And every single one of them said Burnt Bean, and that alone tells you all you need to hear. It's worth the wait, worth the line. I'm gonna go for breakfast. I heard breakfast is even better than lunch.
I went for breakfast and lunch at Burnt Bean.
Did you sit at the table the whole time? Like, I'll wait.
But I went twice. Once for
I'm
breakfast, but I still had double. I would say that some of their breakfast dishes are better than others, right? So like that Casanova and some of those sandwiches, right? They're bomb, you know. And then there's other things that I think, you know, personally, right? I'm not dogging on anything because he's a freaking the man, but I think that there's other places you can get other things at, right? But like their barbecue, bomb.
Yeah,
Where it's
fair
at,
enough.
my boy.
Fair enough. All right, man. Now here comes one of the fun questions. I'm glad the fireball came in. All right, man. If you're gonna, we talked about some of the best barbecue restaurants in Texas. Outside of Burnt Bean and the one you mentioned, give me two. Give me two of the best sleepers or two of the best barbecue restaurants in your opinion. And then I want on the opposite spectrum. I want you to give me two of the most overrated barbecue restaurants in Texas.
Oh man, okay.
Oh, you trying to get him beat up?
Shots fired, baby.
No, not really, because like you can do like the quick ones, Rudy's, you know, is overrated, right? Is overrated, right?
Okay.
I think Rudy's is really overrated. I think that, but they obviously established themselves as one of those um fast food kind of barbecue places. So you can't, in my opinion, right? You can't knock them for finding their niche in all of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think they're
No.
overrated.
I want two overrated and two good ones. I don't
When
excuses.
someone says, man, Rudy's is great. I'm like, yeah, you haven't had good barbecue, right?
So overrated, straight up Rudy's.
Yeah, Rudy's is overrated.
Sorry, Rudy's.
I think it's easier to get Rudy's. Overrated out of the way. Dave's, I'll say, is overrated too.
Dave and Buster's?
No. What the hell is it? I don't even know, but I saw it in El Paso. Actually, they catered for us when I was working up there. Famous Dave's, dude.
Oh, well, that's a chain. You can't do a chain. I'm talking about
Rudy's
Texas.
is a chain too. Rudy's is a chain too.
Shit.
Rudy's barbecue
but
brisket's drier than my
the
meat.
problem
That's
is
gross.
the problem is that I've heard it from people, right? Like, oh, Rudy's is great. And like, no, it's not, dude. Like, you just don't know what barbecue is. Like, you've never experienced it. So I'm putting both of them as you didn't give me enough rules.
All right, fine.
So what was the other two that I had to give?
Yeah, give me two of the biggest sleepers in Texas.
Sleepers, man. I already mentioned one. I feel like G-Walt. Well, it's because they're already on the top 10, so I guess I can't name them. Sleepers.
Can't say Goldies. Can't say Tootsies.
Pinkertons is a sleeper.
I've been seeing that.
Pinkertons is going to be in the top 10 next year, or whenever they do it. Especially their one on Kirby. Like, I've already seen where they're using, like, they're going to start doing whole hog and stuff. Like, man, what restaurant do you know? I mean, there's some in the Carolinas, right?
Carolina. That's Carolina.
Not many. Dude, that's an undertaking.
In Texas, what restaurant do you know is going to be serving whole hog? Well, Pinkertons in Houston and the Kirby. Tootsie's, but Tootsie's is not an underrated place.
No, it's definitely not anymore. It was.
Yeah. So look out for Pinkertons as far as that location, right? Because I don't know if they're going to do it at all their locations, but I know the one there in Houston area is going to be doing whole hog, right?
What do you recommend at Pinkertons? Anything?
Man, it's Reese
Brothers in San Antonio.
I feel like their pork is gonna be their I think it's gonna be their game changer, right? Because everyone can cook a great brisket. Everyone, like in Texas, right? And I'm just not.
I don't know what that's like, but yeah.
Well, maybe you'll come for the brisket and you'll stay for the pork, right?
Yeah,
you know,
I'm on board, man.
Hey, Pinkertons.
Yeah, that's
fair. I got room on my shirt.
Sausage. All right.
So Pinkertons is definitely one of them, and then I think the other one in San Antonio is 2M. 2M. They're also pretty good, and not a lot of people know or give them enough credit, but they're just solid from breakfast to dinner. You know what I mean?
All right. Fair enough. All right. Last question, man. if you're going to a cookout and somebody tells you that they're a barbecue master, you know what I mean? Like you hear those guys like, "Hey man, I'm the king of my backyard." What is one protein and one side that they can't nail? You know they're full of shit.
Man. So if we're talking king of the cul-de-sac, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
king of cul-de-sac.
I'm gonna eliminate brisket because brisket's not a cul-de-sac king to me, right? I think that they're all full of shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But so let's narrow it down to grilling, right? And so like in my neck of the woods, I'll say they cook real good fajita, right?
Yeah.
So that's one, right? Fajita is
If
one.
they can nail a fajita, they're like, all right, this man's got a little something.
Yes. Like if it's tender but super flavorful, but not overcooked,
Yeah.
you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? And then the side down here is beans, bro, all day.
Chowder.
Yeah, chowder beans. Because
Charo beans.
I have a boy. We call him Bean Burner on a
bean
chat,
burner.
because the motherfucker can never.
What a terrible fucking nickname.
Bean burner.
He can't help but burn beans.
Hey yo, bean burner.
Ernest got his start, man. That's all Ernest. He said that's how he got burnt beans.
Yeah, maybe, but this boy stayed there. But beans you got, and let me tell you a quick fire side story. This is the guy down here who's like, "Hey bro, taste my beans. What do you think?" Right, man. I could, if you're a bean cook and you know what beans taste like, you can tell a canned bean from a dry bean. And I tell him, "You use canned beans?" And he looked at me in my eyes. He couldn't lie. He could not lie to me. And he said, "Yeah, man, I didn't have time." I was like, "Man, I could tell that shit." Dude. Like, and so down here, if like my mama, she could tell if you're doing a canned bean or not, So don't try to lie to her. You know what I mean?
When I come to the Caesar cookout, I got to learn my chowder beans and I got to learn my fajita.
Yeah, that's one of those two things,
and I'm in there like swimwear, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you bring aluminum foil to a cookout?
Of course.
Always.
I got a to-go box.
To-go box. I always bring to-go box, especially when they're cooking good.
Oh, to cook out, like not to cook off, but like a cookout.
Cookout.
So let me tell you something. And my friends may like it, may hate it. I don't care. I bring everything to a cookout, even if I'm not cooking out. So, and I'm waiting. It's like, wait for you to need aluminum pans, bitch, because they're in the back of my truck. Or wait till you need some fucking tongs or something. Like, I got you.
We are not waiting.
You know what? Let me just take over.
Yeah, let me hold my beer.
Yeah.
Hold my fireball.
That's probably why they don't like me, but they love me, but you know what I mean, right? Like I'm just I want to be over prepared.
Yeah.
If I'm going to cookout, but we're going to drink and cook, you know what I mean? Like it's buddies. We're gonna go drink and cook. Like I'm already like, all right, dude, I already have a checklist for this shit, because that's what I do.
We're the same person.
This is my weekend off. Like I don't have a cook off. I'll make sure that everything is in the. I've taken Ubers back home with fucking one of those like totes.
Yeah.
Plastic totes, and it's full of my shit because I took it with me. They dropped me off. I love my wife. She'll drop me off. And I'm like, okay, it's 3 a.m. now. I gotta go home, but I'm not leaving my tote with you fuckers. So here I go with my tote in the Uber.
They charge you for a guest, so you have a second passenger. No, these are just boxes.
They never have, but they always say, "Man, it smells good."
You're like, I don't know. No, man. Well, hey, Cesar, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I truly appreciate it, man. I feel like we could talk. This could be a 3-hour show if we let it. There's so many questions I didn't even get to ask you. We're definitely going to have you back on, man. This is the time of show where I give you a chance to give some shout outs and let people know where to find you and also whether you're going to be this year. So if you got any sponsors or anything like that, take it away.
Sure. Well, first of all, I appreciate you guys having me. Keaton, I appreciate you reaching out. Logan, nice meeting you. And I love the show, man. I do feel the same way. I feel like we can keep talking after hours here. We'll light up the grill and make something.
Absolutely, man.
But I appreciate the invite. As far as the exit goes, man, I have to thank my sponsors, man. I think that the first ever person to give me a shot in professional barbecue was Cosmos, right? And so I am
That's a good
diehard
one.
loyal. I'm diehard loyal to them. So Cosmos Q, everyone knows who they are. It's one of those things where you might be running them, you might be not. You might not be telling everyone you're running them, but you're probably running them.
I mean, moisture magic,
So
baby.
yeah, that's my thing. So that's what they call me on the dark web.
Ooh. Check out his
But
only cans. Charro.
but definitely Cosmos Q, Quattro D drums. I gotta send a shout out to Gulf Coast Smoke Man. I love his products.
Alonzo.
Shout him
I love
out.
his
That's
products.
my boy.
And Chicken Fried Barbecue, man. They're not my sponsors. I'm just letting everyone know that if you're not
Brother
running Chicken
Bill,
Fried
baby.
Barbecue, you better do it.
You're missing out.
Yeah, you're missing out. I have a lot of local sponsors here, man. They know who they are. I won't take time to mention everyone here, but they know I appreciate them for everything they've done to help me get to where I'm at, man. They keep sponsoring me year after year, knowing that I'm gonna go out around the whole state and even out of the state and represent them. So thank you to them. And again, thank you for you guys for having me. I had a ball, man. I had a ball
Yeah.
hanging out with you guys, and we'll see when we run it back.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man. Well, definitely gonna have you back, dude. We're gonna do a part 2. Get all the questions. I'm gonna have me some beans and chili.
Yeah, I've got at least another hour.
I can't do another one of these. I can't do another one of these podcasts without food. Like I'm gonna be upset here eating.
Give me 3. I need 3 hours to cook some beans, man. So
I know.
it's
I
gonna
love
be
it.
a long.
I know. I love it. I love it. Well, man, Cesar, thank you so much, my man. I truly appreciate you and everything you do, and best of wishes. Thank you for bringing your Texas loyal. Like I said, our message board was lit up with the great Lone Star State tonight, and I truly appreciate you guys and everything you do. So, man, until next time, thanks so much, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you, brother.
Dude, that was fun, man. What a great
guy,
dude,
man.
Great
Good
dude.
Lord.
I can listen to you mispronounce churro. Like Charo.
It's not my fault.
Why I say it like Italian? Charo. No, Charo. But no, man, it was a great show. Thank you so much. And I want to give a shout out to our sponsors of the show tonight. We got the Barbecue Bus, man. Check out Barbecue Bus for all your brine, chicken, pork, beef. Check it out, man. It's the one with the stripper with the protein on the stripper pole. If you don't think that's a badass, I don't know what's wrong with you. Also, just picked up for the show, and I'm proud to announce or announcing it tonight. We are officially sponsored by Smoky Woods Barbecue. So check out Smoky Woods Barbecue for all your fuel needs when it comes to barbecue. Thank you so much. And guys, if you're hanging out with us tonight and you liked what you heard and want to hear more of it, please like, subscribe, follow us on Apple and Spotify. That would mean a lot to me. We're trying to build that following. And if you're one of our faithful, we truly appreciate you guys. Like I said, man, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And Keaton, you got anything else to say?
Hey, keep on grilling, boys. Keep tuning in. Life's going to be great.
That's right. And as always, make sure you're always right on cue.
Right on cue. I love it. Yes.
I know. See you guys.
That's all, folks.